Do you have everything? Are you comfortable where you are in your life right now? Well, maybe a little too comfortable. We think you're ready for this serious shit. What you really need is a good kick in the ass. Welcome to the Momo Show, starring Momo from the Momo Zone and controversial radio personality, Eric Remi.
Hi everybody, welcome to show number 1 of this brand new podcast called The Momo Show, aka The Kick-Ass Motivator. This edition of The Momo Show was taped on Wednesday the 12th of August, 2009.
Subjects covered on The Momo Show will include, but will not be limited to, how to treat a woman, frustrated motherfuckers, building the perfect relationship.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Get your shit together, wake the fuck up, getting rid of your stupid friends. And of course, it's not always about you.
Well, that sets the tone. This is Eric Remi. I'll be the host of this new series of show called The Momo Show during the next 60 minutes. Please keep an open mind if you want to feel the full benefits of being kicked in the ass by the ass motivator himself, Momo. Hi, Momo. By the way, how does your ass feel with this new show?
Yeah, Eric, how you doing, man? I like the way you called me the ass motivator as opposed to the kick-ass motivator.
Did I miss a word? Yeah, I'm sorry.
I wonder what that could actually mean, but we can leave that in because that's fine.
Sure, that's funny. Bloopers just for the first show, imagine. So how does your ass feel?
Well, my ass feels pretty kicked, man, because I've been kicking the shit out of my own ass, which means it's hard as a rock right now.
Okay, I know you. A lot of people do, but some other people don't know you. Tell me what led you to be the web's #1 kick-ass motivator?
Oof, man, it was a long road, but long story short, I come from a music production background.
You're a producer,
I'm
music producer?
A music producer, songwriter, arranger, and as is my girlfriend Krila, who did the same thing. And for years, we winded up doing music, and realized that there was another way. When the music business started to crash, because of the internet and everything, we kind of decided to reinvent ourselves. So she became a photographer, I became a video guy, and it was a kind of a natural transition, As a music producer, I always kind of motivated people to deliver their tracks or deliver the vocal performance.
Gives them confidence.
Yeah, you were always giving them confidence. So you had a guy, they were afraid to sing, say you're doing a reggae song, he wasn't getting the mood. I'd say, oh, wait a minute. I'd go to my closet, dress him up like some reggae guy, set the tone differently, and all of a sudden the guy's in the mood, even though we're not in Jamaica, So using the tips and tricks I've gotten from, being live, stage show antics, performance antics, how to talk to a crowd, all that stuff has kind of naturally given me the ability to be able to communicate with people, thus becoming a motivator. So...
Does that come from your background, family background, to be like focused and know exactly what to do in life, or it's just life experience?
Well, look, my parents were immigrants, and I got to tell you, as boat people normally are, they come over here and they work really, really hard. So I watched my father, work basically 7 days a week. He'd leave 7 o'clock in the morning and I'd be back till 8 o'clock at night. And he had 3 or 4 jobs and to give his family everything he wanted. So I'm kind of naturally born into a kind of a workaholic-ish kind of situation, but for the right reason. I don't go out and spend my money on drinking, partying, and doing all kinds of stuff. I'm really a focused person that spends his money on gear so that I can develop my ideas and whatnot, thus leading me to video, thus leading me to YouTube.
And then this radio show today.
And then this radio show today, when I got lucky enough to meet you years ago.
15 years ago, actually.
Oh my God. Time flies.
Yeah, that's what they say. It's true.
I first met you at this party, I remember, and I interviewed you, and I had these 2 nipples on my head. And I was saying to myself, this guy's going to think I'm crazy. And then you said
Actually not.
You said some very nice stuff to me, and here we are. We became friends later on. And,
let me just say what I said. I said you have star quality. One day you'll be a star, and I think you have that energy that makes you what you are. And now you're, famous motivator on YouTube. You've been doing these capsules for what, more than 2 years now? No?
Yeah, it's going on to 3 years soon, and and I got to tell you, Eric, those words that you told me those years ago, they really stuck with me in a very big way. It'll be one of my flashbacks when I die. I remember coming back home and looking at Krilla and saying, "Damn, that guy, he said that about me, and maybe maybe it's true, you know. So you always gave me a lot of hype.
So
on that.
I motivated you first.
Yeah, you motivated me first. You really gave me a big motivator. I was a hot party we were at too. Shit,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 15 years ago, though.
Oh my goodness. But we still look good.
You are listening to The Momo Show, and this is In Your Face.
Well, as you heard it, this segment of the Momo Show is called In Your Face. It is made to discuss serious subjects, sometimes between you and I, and sometimes with special guests. Since this is our first show, we'll keep it with just you and I. And we have a lot of work in front of us. First of all,
How to treat a woman.
how to treat a woman. You've been talking about your long-time relationship with Krila, 26 years. Are you a specialist in that matter or what?
Well, I like to think that at the end of the day, 26 years with the same girl is a strong accomplishment. There have been other people who've been together for that long, but from our generation, it's kind of...
That's pretty rare.
It's pretty rare. I mean, I still do look at this woman at least 10 times a day and tell her that I love her more than anything and that life itself. And she does the same for me for the last 26 years.
So there's a mutual admiration between you and Krila.
Actually, you know what? That's very well put, Eric, because I think that's the word. We admire each other. It's like, I am proud of that girl, like I'm proud of a child that I would have that became... She fucking blows me away, dude. I sit up late at night sometimes, and all I do is watch all videos of her performing and singing. And every time I'm by myself, if somebody can film me and see what I look like, I have a stupid look on my face, like a father who's looking at his...
So you're infatuated.
I'm infatuated with her and impressed with her, and she blows me away every single time I listen to a word or I see her create something. It freaks me out.
How do you keep the flame going?
The flame is just permanently on. I even miss her when I'm with her, and we work together. This is another thing. Imagine that you're together that long with somebody and you see them all the time. You figure, shit, I'm going to hate this person after a while. I'm going to get sick. I'm going to want to look at other people. On top of that, she's a hot photographer, so there's nothing but chicks, hot chicks.
And hot guys, too.
And hot guys that are walking in and out of here like constantly, and you figured, well, maybe I should be worried or something, right?
So
or she
trust
should be.
is a big base of it, of your relationship too.
Trust, my friend, is everything. It's 1,000,000,000% undeniable trust.
First of all, admiration. Second of all, respect. Third of all,
Like I like to say in a lot of my videos and whatnot, I believe that you have to find that one thing that the woman loves that goes beyond the relationship. Because a lot of times when people get into relationships, sometimes they have to sacrifice something.
they gotta be different than what they are.
That's right. So maybe they were a particular way, there's something they loved, and then because they got together with this person, all of a sudden, well, that person doesn't really like that, so they compromise, forget about it, and move on with their lives. I like to do the opposite. Wait a minute, you love to draw? Let me go get you amazing drawing tools and stuff, and you go ahead and you do that, baby, because you're really good at it. No, but I'm not that good. I used to be good. No, I'm telling you, you're hot. Go ahead and do it. She does it, and then she explodes. A whole new thing opens up. And then it's like, oh my God, you taught me something. You're my teacher. You're my lover. You're my everything.
Then she spreads and gives all her love.
That's right. And it just works. You are an animal.
Okay, so we got the three things, okay?
Yeah.
Admiration, respect,
Yeah.
and you gotta be nourishing for the other.
Nourishing is the fantastic word in this case, my friend. You totally got it. Nourishing is the most important. Without nourishment, you don't eat. And if you don't eat, you will eventually die.
Next topic,
Frustrated motherfuckers.
frustrated motherfuckers. They're everywhere.
Fuck, Eric. I'm telling you right now. I don't know. I mean, frustrated motherfuckers, on my YouTube videos, I try and keep it pretty calm. This show's going to be a little bit edgier. I'm going to, pour out a little bit more of what I really feel.
We're a little bit timid right now because it's the first show, but we'll get looser and looser.
Wait until you guys see us get looser. You think the fuck word is a problem? You ain't seen shit yet. Okay.
So, motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers, look, there are people out there who, due to their, shall I say, inadequate ways of accomplishing things, maybe they didn't work hard enough. Maybe they didn't try hard enough. Maybe they didn't become what the fuck they wanted to be when they grew up or while they're growing up. So
They're envious.
They're envious. They're jealous. They're not team players. They're solo quarterbacks, and it can't work. These are the people that wind up being lonely. These are the people that have limited amount of friends, and then they ask themselves why they feel all fucked up and why they're negative, and they live in negativity.
Yeah, they're energy suckers.
Vampires.
Yeah.
That's right. It's like, energy vampires, it really doesn't work with me because I get physically ill. If I'm around one, I could be a week in bed.
You feel it right there.
And sometimes I try and change it because my natural motivation chops are there to, if I see something that's not positive, I'm going to try and alter it and make it positive. And if I get hooked onto an energy vampire and they could fool you, you don't know it sometimes. Sometimes they could be like, there's no way. And then all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, I don't feel good around this person. What's happening? Well, that's it, And that's all I got to do about being frustrated.
So what do you do with them?
My favorite thing. I did this. Listen to this sound. When you hear this sound, that means the cutoff syndrome, okay? That means I just chop them off. I have no remorse. I go, cut, you do not exist. I erase you out of my fucking life. You're gone, period.
Yeah, but it could be members of our own family. That's not easy to do.
Look, it's interesting you're saying that, Eric. I've got lots of letters regarding that exact subject of my cutoff syndrome. What happens if it's a family member? Look, family members, in my opinion, should get some kind of priority. Okay, because they are family. But at one point, there's so many examples of family people doing horrendous things to other family members that would not draw the line there. If you have a father that is going out and raping his child or molesting the thing.
Yeah, but these are extremes thing.
Yeah, but then again, if that's the extreme and just somebody not getting along with a family member is the complete other extreme, then there's somewhere down the middle that tells me that, look, a person is a person, and also depends the circumstance. If you're 13 years old and you're living on your parents' roof and you're not getting along with your parents, well, you got to wait a little while before we can make sure that that's the problem and it's not you, So if it's an extreme situation, then that's for authorities or whatnot. But then anywhere in between, I say, what the fuck are you going to wait for? You ain't getting along with somebody, chop them right off. Get rid of them.
Do you ignore them or do you just tell them exactly why you're doing what you're doing?
Well, I think that if it's a person you kind of care about to a certain degree, then you owe it to that person to do like baseball. 3 strikes, you're fucking out.
But you explain it.
You explain it. You explain it once. Then the second time, you say, I've explained it the first time. I'm explaining it to you again. Do you understand? The third time, it's like, look, if I have to say this one more time, I'm terribly sorry. This is not going to work out. I wish you the best with your endeavors.
Go in the flow or go away.
You fit in or you don't.
Building the perfect relationship.
Building the perfect relationship. Does that go with how to treat a woman that we just talked about?
Yeah, how to treat a woman and building a perfect relationship goes hand in hand, but there are other parameters. Building the perfect relationship is like building a house. You got to dig the hole. You got to pour the cement, you got to put up the walls, build the foundation, and not until that foundation is solid are you ready to decide what the decoration in your house is going to be like. And the decoration that is in your house, instead of making it permanent, I think it needs to be made so that you could change it pretty much anytime you want. It has to change,
actually, no?
Yeah, it's got to be able to mold itself and expand with the times and your ideas, because if it doesn't, well, it's like always doing it in a missionary position. You just don't try anything new and you're fucked.
But if you like that girl or that girl likes that guy, they go together, they rent an apartment and they stay together, and then they figure out that they don't have that perfect relationship. What can they do?
Well, like a couple that goes bad, you have a couple of choices. If you feel that that person is worthy trying to fix the situation with, then you go for help. You go
therapist.
You go to some kind of therapist. You search for some online help. You actually, therapist is the only way to do it. People do that in marriages and stuff all the time.
Being frank between each other is also something very important.
Honesty is the best policy, as they say, because you know what is the worst thing is the build-up. When you don't say anything for all these years, and then
teams build up,
and then finally that person finds out that, what do you mean, you've hated this shit about me all this time and you've never said nothing? You know, and then they realize, yeah, but you know what, I don't fucking like that shit about you either. And then it's like, oh my God, all these years has been a fake relationship. Boom. And then these people split up.
And sometimes it's just little details.
It's the combination of many little things that make the sum of the big explosion. I mean, it's pretty much that.
I like the next one.
Wake the fuck up.
Wake the fuck up. How many people go through this life just sleeping, actually sleeping, sleepwalking?
Well, you know, I don't know what they're fucking waiting for. If they think that like the tooth fairy or the magic fairy dust, rock dust mother is going to come sprinkle some fame dust on your head and make shit happen. But it takes work. Work means you got to get up off your fucking ass and do something about it. You have an idea. Well, look, there's a light bulb on top of your head, Eric. I see it. What do we do with that light bulb?
You got to do something.
You got to do something.
But fear is always present, you know.
Fear of success is a great...
Or failure.
Or fear of failure or fear of success.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of actually the same thing.
It's the same thing.
They're at opposite ends of the spectrum. It's like a negative and a positive end of a battery. Take one of them away, they don't work. You know what I mean? So, yeah, fear of success, fear of failure. I mean, what's going to happen? You're going to die? I always like to say that. What's going to happen? Oh my God.
What's the worst?
What's the worst that could happen?
You could lose a lot of money depending on what you're trying to do.
Well, if you're taking financial chances, that's another thing. But I think that fear of failure or success starts at the root. It starts at the root of when you're younger and what your parents told you were or weren't able to do, how you got encouraged. Pretty much like I'm telling you about how to treat a woman.
Yeah.
It all works the same for me like that. If you show that encouragement and bring that backbone, that taking chances, calculated chances, not stupid chances, is where it's at, then waking the fuck up is really an option for you, because when you're awake, you get shit done.
Okay, I'm 40 years old. I wake up. I've been sleeping all these years. What do I do?
Well, you got to thank yourself for one thing. You've been sleeping all these years. You know what you hate now because you've woken up and you can't stand it anymore. And you have a bank of experience that's 40 years old. Wow. You know how many people wait for that bank of experience? People pay for banks of experience like that. You got to have the balls to go in there and siphon it out and say, okay, this and this and this is what I'm really good at. How will I turn this into my money? How will I turn this into my living? How will I make it fucking happen?
You have to write it down? Have a plan?
It all starts off with writing it down. I like to work backwards. As a matter of fact, I like to say this. Think of everything you hate, and then you'll be left with everything you love. Mark down everything you can't stand, and then you'll be left with everything you love. And it's the backwards process. That shit works for me. I think people should try that more often.
So you just write down what you don't want in your life, and then you go for what you want?
No. When you get rid of everything you don't like, you'll only be left with what you need.
It's true.
Because a person who usually wants change and shit like that, they're at the end of their rope. So when I say mark down what you like, you might not even be able to do that because
it's
you're
easier to find, make a list of things you don't like.
Because when you don't feel good, you're negative, and the negative thoughts are priority in your head. So you take those thoughts, mark down, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, and then what are you left with? Oh my fucking God. You either hate everything or you're going to have a few things you love, and that's your focus points.
Yeah. You write it down, you read it, you see exactly what you don't want.
Yep.
And then you work on it.
That's right.
To take it out of your life.
And you can even do it double. Like you take a list and you say, here's everything I hate, here's everything I like. Then you put them together and you cross-reference. And you say, does this fall into this? Is one of these things got common with these things? And then...
They usually have.
Because some people, they're self-martyrs, dude. They're sabotage guys.
They're victims.
It goes with that thing. You build yourself up, you're going to get it. Oh, you're almost there. Oh, fuck, I can't do it anymore. I'm backing out. And when you said money before, that's a different situation. If you're an older guy, you've got a lot of money. And
your house, your family, your cars, your mortgage, and everything.
You've invested into something that you were hoping was going to build your nest egg into something bigger. could mess with your family, with your income, with your mortgage, with anything you got going, that's a different kind of pressure. You got to be intelligent. That, to me, personally falls into the gambling department. I've never been one to be a gambler, so I don't bet on shit. I don't even invest in shit unless I know that I get a guaranteed return from it.
Listening to your feeling, would that be one way to help you in that quest to wake up and do something constructive of your life?
Absolutely. When you're sleeping, you get nothing done. And look, at the end of the day, you know what you think you want, and it all depends how high and how far you want to go. So I get 10, 15 things done a day, every day. I don't stop. My choice. I'm not telling you that what I'm doing is right or wrong, but I know one thing. If someone asks me, what are you doing? Are you in love? Do you have everything you want? I could smile from ear to ear and say, fuck yeah. Life is 365 days a year divided by how long you're on this earth. And there's nothing else.
So
wake the fuck up.
That's it.
Getting rid of your stupid friend.
How to get rid of stupid friends. You know what? I have no stupid friends anymore.
Why is that?
Well, they eliminated themselves by virtue, actually, because the way I am and the way I have my, I lead my life, I don't have these friends.
And that's good, because do you remember what it felt like when you had those stupid friends, and now that you can feel like what it's not like to be there? Is that a relief or what?
It is. But if I have a stupid friend, what do I do with him? Do I keep him around me?
Look, man, I guess maybe it's because I'm pushing 50 now, and what's happening is that my tolerance level has just hit like an
but if the kid is 17, he's listening to us and he's got a stupid friend, what does he do with him?
You know what? I think that kids are not stupid like they used to be back then. I think kids are far more intelligent than we were when we were kids, because they have all the available information that they have at their fingertips. So I say, why treat a 17-year-old or even a 15-year-old like a kid of yesterday when he's a fucking adult of today, okay? And that means tell it like it is. I say if at 17 years old, you're pissed off enough at somebody who's treating you like shit or is not there to help you build your life so that you can think that I'm going to retire by the time I'm 30, right? Then you need to get rid of this person. It's radical, but that's the way it is.
Well, yes and no, because if I have a stupid friend, could I feel more intelligent because I'm at his side?
At some points, you're there to just save him and back him up. And at some points, I'm sorry. If you get married, then your responsibilities become to your wife and your kids. What about that stupid friend? You're still going to drag him along with you? You're going to bring him in the bedroom with you when you're screwing your wife? No, it's not going to happen. So what I'm saying is that it all starts at the root. These 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds, when they start living that shit, okay, there's part of growing up. There's things I'm not saying take away the kid stuff where you're growing up, but at one point.
And there's funny stupid and stupid, no?
That's right. Exactly. So, I say right at the beginning, mold those people. Try and help your friend be smarter.
And if my girlfriend tells me, you know what, your friend is stupid, she's probably a bit jealous. Could she be? I guess so.
She could be jealous. Absolutely. It's very possible that the problem is more with your girlfriend and not with your friend. Also,
so should you get rid of that friend?
Well, if the girlfriend was stupider than the guy, I would get rid of the girlfriend and stick with my stupid friend.
Friendship lasts longer than a relationship sometimes.
Absolutely, and it's very important. The friendship is the most important thing. Even in a relationship, I could never have a personal relationship with somebody if I wasn't their friend first. So it's the friendship, and again, the growing. If your friend is stupid, let me rephrase this.
Yeah.
Getting rid of your stupid friends is like a catchphrase to wake you guys fucking up, okay? Because I don't think that your friends are stupid. But what I do think is that your friends can do stupid stuff. And if they do enough stupid stuff and you can't set them straight, then you're going to be part of the stupid crowd. And if you're going to be part of the stupid crowd, then you're just going to be a fucking idiot. And you're not going to get what you want. Look, Eric, we don't know how much longer we're going to be here, man. I don't want to sound radical, but there's a lot of problems going on in the world today. And unfortunately, in my opinion, there's more of them than there is of us. And
More stupid?
No, more of the younger guys than there is of us older guys, which means that by the time the main shit is going to hit, who the fuck you think is going to be in control out here? People that, don't get it, or people that don't want to wake up, or people that don't compliment people, or people that don't try and help people out. These are the people that are going to be left in control. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to be frozen, like a deer in the headlights, and then the bomb's going to come.
So wise up.
Wise up, man. Wise up and believe that things are possible.
And last topic, but not the least,
It's not always about you.
it's not always about you. People around us sometimes always think that we're talking about them, and we're not.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Like,
Or they budge in a conversation. I hate that.
oh yeah, or some people, they never let you get a fucking word in. Like, you have to go, and you go again and you're trying to break in, But, I don't know, man. I mean, I had a little situation a little while ago with I won't mention any names, a YouTube user of mine who kind of took a fixation, and I was really trying to help this person out, and we were trying to be friendly and whatnot. But this person, every time I put up a video or wrote a letter about anything, this person would come back at me and think I was talking about them when I really wasn't. So it's like, you take a person who's got a lot of problems and maybe personality,
But that's paranoid, no?
and maybe personality disorders, multi-personality stuff, or I don't know, undiagnosed stuff even, and they're listening to common problems that I'm talking about, because most people have the same kind of problems. It's just worded differently, Anyways, this person went ballistic on me, and I had to do the cutoff syndrome. Like, I was getting uncomfortable, like, because I felt like I was getting violated. I made a mistake of giving this person my cell phone number to contact me in case they needed to talk to me. And dude.
And you know what? I don't even have your cell phone number.
You don't have my cell phone number?
I don't.
Fuck, I'll give it to you after this show.
I hope so. If you'd like to submit topics to be discussed in this portion of In Your Face, please write us to momo@themomozone.com.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're ready. You're ready for the serious shit.
Since this is our first podcast of the Momo Show, the letters that Momo will use in this segment of this serious shit are taken from the momozone.com email fan base. If you'd like to have your letter chosen by Momo to be answered on the air, please specify it in writing to momo@themomozone.com. Let's listen to the first letter.
Hi, Momo. I'm 29 years old, and I've struggled my whole life with social anxiety. I used to use drugs and alcohol to overcome this, but have a beautiful 3-year-old daughter and have overcome my addictions to heroin and alcohol. I have been clean for 2.5 years, but I'm having an extreme trouble dealing with life. I go to school online and live off grants I got. I do everything I can not to deal with people. I need a girlfriend, man. I haven't gotten laid in almost 3 years. My wife left me when I quit using. I was active duty in the Navy and used pain meds as a way to deal with my social anxiety. She left me because of it. My life has been on standstill since that time. I love my daughter and spend every day with her. She is so beautiful. I just want to have a normal life for my sake as well as hers. You're the fucking man. I have been trying to overcome my obstacles on my own. I have a shrink and a therapist, but have not made much progress yet. I will have my degree in a couple of years and want to be able to fly. I am tired of just existing. Thanks, Momo.
So now you know why we call this segment This Serious Shit. This is serious shit for that guy at 29 years old.
Oh, yeah, man. I got to tell you, and my heart and energy goes out to this guy. 29 years old, social anxiety, recovering from drugs and alcohol.
Heroin.
Heroin, too. That's a hard one to beat.
Yeah.
He's got a beautiful 3-year-old daughter that he's loves, and I could see how the daughter could be the pinnacle point of, his salvation as well. Trouble dealing with life and
not being late for 3 years.
Not being late for 3 years and tired of existing. I mean, when you get wrapped up in that kind of turmoil, well, it's pretty hard to come out. Your guy's been in the army, a lot of stress, dealing with pain meds. And probably all he's seen coming back to reality is not always the easiest thing to do. But I gotta tell you, dude, I am fucking proud that you are persisting and going in this direction. And believe me, you will prevail. You know?
Well, 2 years and a half being sober is right there, something really incredible.
Oh, that's right. Because let me tell you that it is not easy to become sober. I've known a lot of people that have fallen to, drug abuse from many kinds of drugs, and a lot of them have died. And to be able to pull yourself out and actually sound like this, despite the fact that the list of things that he puts down, I feel the passion within his letter.
He sees his life clearly if he puts all these points there.
My friend, what you got to do is you got to keep focusing. Your daughter, she's your light. This light, you always do everything. When you're too weak to do things for yourself, well, you got to do it for someone else, right? And that's the beautiful thing, because a daughter, your little daughter, she's innocent, selfless.
She needs you.
And she needs you, and that is your engine. That is your strong point. So you keep focusing on that thing, and you're going to get your bachelor's, you're going to get your thing. Keep studying your ass off and understand that you can never go back to the way it was, because that doesn't feel good, and it's also not going to be good for your daughter. You know that.
So he's on the right path, the guy.
Look, man,
he's going to fly soon.
He's going to fly soon. And I'm going to tell you, I wish that on you, my friend, because talk about getting high in a different way. You know what I mean? I have been in the front cockpit of some big-ass airplanes, and I have to tell you that it is such a thrill, and the freedom of having that. So let's make it so. You can be in that cockpit flying that plane, and your daughter could be beside you, and that would be the ultimate high, So, dudes, we want to wish you the most amazing recovery. Please write to us anytime. And this is our first segment of the show, so we're going through some letters. But I will be making a video for you very soon. And I want to wish you the absolute best in your recovery. And please, stay strong. You rock, dude.
I think you're ready. You're ready for the serious shit. Hello, Momo. I'm 16 and I have a question. I'm currently caught between two people, my girlfriend and my ex. I stay good friends with my exes and don't do anything that I shouldn't so that I can keep a friendship. Now, my current girlfriend and I argue at times. When I was with my ex, we never fought. Now, I'm having trouble deciding whether or not I made the right choice to break up with my ex in the first place. It has been over half a year since I broke up with my ex. I also think I have trouble making up my mind, like I don't know what I want. Sorry the message seems vague. Thank you for your time.
Well, first of all, let me tell you that that message is not vague. It's pretty clear. At 16, that kid is torn between two lovers, the ex and the new one.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, 16 years old these days is more like, 20 years old back when you and I were kind of younger. You know what I mean?
Well, it's, there's pain in there for sure.
Well, look, I've seen a lot of people, Eric, okay, that they remain friends with their girlfriends, and they bounce around, and I went out with this, and I went out with this, and they all remain friends, and they're all going out with each other. But
that's normal at this age, no?
Look, he's pretty young, and these guys, they
go to school together.
They go to school.
Sure.
They need to remain friends and whatnot. But, I mean, look, just go with who you feel is the right person. This is not a game. Playing with emotions is not a game. And at a young age like that, it can actually be quite scarring. It can be the kind of response and actions that mold whether that person winds up hating being with somebody later on in life, or afraid.
Could be a pattern?
It's a pattern, but they can build a pattern. A rejection pattern, or oh my God, guys will reject me, or girls will reject me from the rest of the time of my life because they got dumped.
Or never being with the right partner.
Or never being with the right partner. Some people always need change. So, I mean, this is a good time for you to actually make up your mind and say, you know what? Let me figure out who the hell I want to be with, and then stick to it, man. Stick to it. Try and build a relationship. Or maybe you're not ready to commit to what you consider to be a full-time relationship right now. You are still young, and, you can afford to test the grounds, as they put it,
Got a lot of years in front of you.
Now, what do you think?
Pretty wise.
You just go out there and pick the one you want and stick with it. One of them is going to get hurt, or unless one of them is fed up and they don't want to be, you guys don't want to be together anyway, then move on to the next one. But I think don't put so much pressure on yourself. You can't have it all. You're 16. You're discovering things, and I know you're a guy. I know it can get hot down there. At 16 years old,
You mean steamy?
Steamy. Your hormones are starting to rip. You know what I mean? And you're getting all excited at the possibilities of whatever can go down. But there's also something called love and emotion, and life and relationships go way further than you know.
Make your decision and stick to it.
Make a decision and stick to it, my friend. Thank you so much for writing this letter, and you guys rock.
Please don't use my username. I have several friends who also watch your videos, and I would like to remain anonymous. Short and sweet. What should people do after they have had their hearts broken?
Well, this is the title of a famous Bee Gees song, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? So how can you?
Yeah, that was a great song too. But, I mean, the thing is this. Mending a broken heart is always a very complicated situation. At your age, and I don't know how old you are, but I take it you're pretty young, these things do happen. I know when I had my first broken heart, holy shit, Eric.
It is devastating.
I cried every single day for 2 years, right? I moved back from Toronto and I came back to Montreal, live at my mother's house. And I sat behind the piano and I would always write songs about her. And I'd sit there and I'd fucking cry my eyes out at the piano. My sisters were getting sick of seeing me depressed.
Every damn song reminds you of her. Or
reminds
of
you of her. You cry, and every time you try and go with a new person, they kind of look like that person and stuff because you become obsessed. But eventually, that does heal.
Only time.
Time heals those kind of things for sure. I do understand that it is really hard. I mean, if I'm to give you some advice on this, the best thing would be, look, if you can't fix it, there's an old saying that says about the wings, set something free, and if it flies away and it comes back, then it was meant to be yours. And that's true, dude. There is so many things like that happens. If you can think back in your past, and again, I don't know how old you are, but I can, because I'm older, and I've thought of all the times I had those heartbreaks and stuff, and now that I look back at it, it's mended, and it's just part of that experience. I'm really sorry that you're going through this, but unless you gave me more particular details in order to give you a particular solution, it's kind of complicated, but time is what really heals a broken heart. Try and keep yourself busy by doing other things. I like to say, occupy yourself. Use this as an opportunity to do something you've always wanted to do. Because maybe sometimes that relationship took a lot of your time. You're always hanging out. But maybe this is a sign that you need to become stronger yourself. So use this opportunity to focus on something you've always wanted to do and bury yourself in it, and turn it into something. And that should be your new relationship until you naturally find, what the next one is, or you repair this one.
And don't swim in a sea of sorrows.
Oh, yeah, man.
Having myself my own drama, when I had these...
tell us about your drama. This I want to hear.
You know how I treated that?
Yeah.
I listened to classical music.
Oh, yeah?
Because there's no classical music that would remind me of her.
Actually, Eric, you always have such fucking great ideas.
Thanks.
That's it. You take something that's got the opposite of what we were saying before, the uncommon element, everything that has nothing to do with that person, that's what you're vibing with.
Yeah.
That's a very good trick to help you forget stuff.
Tchaikovsky is going to mend your heart.
All right. I don't know whether you like classical out there, but classical is a real interesting music, and when you do bury yourself in it and you light some candles and you blast that stuff, it makes you feel like you're kind of a different human, especially if you're a younger person and you don't usually listen to classical.
Yeah.
Make you feel like you're in a movie or something. Da, 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 da. You got all that kind of stuff going. So you go for it. And I'm sorry you're going through this, but I really wish you a mending heart. Eric and I are sending you some mending heart energy across the airwaves.
Hi Momo, my name is Nick and I stumbled across your videos earlier this week and I've gone through most of them already. I'm a guitar player and play in a band, which is one of the few things I still derive pleasure from in my life. I'm 17 and recently ended a 4-year relationship which I'm struggling to deal with, and I'm in the process of trying to change my life via changing my thoughts, but I lack consistency. I feel flat all the time, bored, nothing tastes as good, nothing is fun, and my energy comes out in negative ways. I started painting, but soon after, I no longer find time for it, and it gets pushed aside. another unfinished project. I was wondering whether you could do a video on consistency. Not only motivation to start something, but to keep it going, maintaining focus, beating the fucking laziness out of myself. I am an extremely lazy person, and I'm surprised I find myself taking this step. Perhaps this is a good sign. Any further help would be immensely appreciated, not to mention fucking cool to hear from Momo himself. Keep doing what you're doing. Love and respect.
I have the feeling he's too hard on himself. 17-year-old, not consistent. Isn't that normal at this age?
Well, I mean, look, at 17, they're trying to figure out themselves. But man, listen, 17-year-old, and you've been in a 4-year relationship. I was thinking about that. And that makes what? He was 13 when he started with this person. That goes to show you, like, kids these days are starting things at an earlier age. I don't know if I ever told you this, but you know that my grandmother was 14 when she married my grandfather.
Oh.
They were married for over 75 years, and they recently both passed away. But, things were done different back then. And this new generation, like I keep telling you, they're so advanced with what they see on TV and the internet and whatnot that they're like young adults at a very young
with
age.
The problems, with not always the maturity to deal with.
Exactly. So at 17, even though he's been through a lot, he seems to be blaming himself for lacking consistency. But this is the prime age to figure out consistency.
That's why I was saying he's too hard on himself.
That's it. So, dude, for starters, you're being a little hard on yourself. You say you love painting, but you
get
don't
bored.
You don't finish stuff.
Yeah.
You figured, and you can maintain your focus. You want to beat the fucking lazy out of yourself, as you put it, which is really great. And the fact that you are written us this letter proves that you are looking for some change and that you are aware, of your particular situation. So, being consistent. Consistency is a really interesting thing, Eric. Did you ever have any problems with staying consistent yourself?
Younger, of course.
But now, you're really serious. I know, we're doing
But
this
I have
radio
my
show.
weeks, I have my days where I don't feel like doing any shit,
Consistency to me means all you do is you pick something that you want to do and you keep fucking hacking at it in an organized fashion till it comes up to a finished product. Beginning, middle, end. Whether it's a conversation, whether it's something you write that's a short essay, whether it's a 6-line poem, whether it's one picture with a name that you tape on your wall, whether it's a CD cover that you've made and you have no... Wait, you got no camera? Fucking draw it with a crayon and give it a name and give me 10 names of 10 songs that you wrote on your computer and that you printed on the CD yourself. You know what that means? That means that you're manifesting reality. That's consistency. Consistency is accumulating your personal content in order for you to be consistent and figure out who the fuck you are.
And follow through.
Following through. So, for instance, he loves guitar. Dude, where the hell is at the shortest scale, where's your EP? EP means 5 songs. Do I have 5 songs? Send me 5 songs. If you haven't done those 5 songs yet, please, send them to me by next week. I know I can do 5 songs in one day.
So you give him the task of doing 5 songs and sending them to you?
There you go. He loves music. But I'm giving him a task right now. But he needs to give himself tasks. I have a fucking list of tons of shit I do that nobody asked me to do. Why? Because it builds my confidence. It builds my content. And then if somebody says, what do? I can show them something. And depending on what that person is all about, I usually have something that's tailored to that person.
Consistency. Hard at this age.
Look, dude, send us some songs. And you know what? I'd like to see one of your paintings also. Painting is amazing. Look, the power of the internet, is going to be perfect for you. If you love painting and if you love doing music, this is where you can be putting stuff out, building your webpage. Hell, I'll help you do it. I'll build it for you. Send me your shit. Momo at themomozone.com. I want to hear some songs. I want to see some paintings, and then we'll take it from there. I'm going to help you out, dude. I just like your vibe.
And get your butt up and do something.
Dude, you are going to feel so good at the end of every week when you look and you see that you've accumulated something, and that becomes the first opening door to consistency.
Hi, I have been watching your vids for a while and respect your opinion. I'm 28 from Australia and suffer from extreme anxiety that makes me feel sick a lot of the time. I think I have found a prescription drug, a sleeping pill, that helps chill, relax, and seems to ease the anxiety. Do you think it's a good idea to start taking these pills as a remedy, or do you have some other suggestion to help ease anxiety? Thanks and all the best.
Well, I see a big red light right there. Anxiety pills. Oof, yeah. I don't know, I have never taken these pills, but I know that they can be addictive, especially if he's got these problems with anxiety, extreme anxiety. I don't know if he should or shouldn't.
Sleeping pills and shit, I don't know. What I'm getting from this is he's probably taking some sleeping pill in a very low dosage that just kind of just doesn't put him to sleep, but kind of just mellows him down, probably kind of like a Valium.
Doozy or something.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I used to get such bad anxiety attacks when I was younger that you do not understand. I couldn't be in public places. If I heard the forks and knives banging and shit, I'd start to get pins and needles. My heart would start to race, and I'd fucking start to throw up, and I'd have to leave, and I'd have to be in a place by myself. It's happened to me twice in my life where it just popped out of nowhere.
How do you call this? Agoraphobia?
Agoraphobia.
Yeah.
With total anxiety attacks. I just couldn't handle noise or too much noise. My brain couldn't handle all the incoming information.
He's got extreme anxiety.
And he feels sick. I know what that feels like because I've puked and my face has fallen down on a plate of food and shit.
So that's pretty severe.
What you got to do is start with breathing. Breathing exercises is actually really important, okay? Because you breathe in through your nose and you hold it in for a couple of seconds, and then you let it breathe it out through your mouth. And you do that, and whenever you get negative and shit, and you start feeling you get a panic attack, you gotta learn how to breathe, because that's part of the reason, you hyperventilate and you get the whole thing going, and it's those memories. The sleeping pill thing, I'm not too keen on, because that leads to narcotic shit. You can go from that to more sleeping pills, and before you know it, you're on Madrix, uppers and downers, and stuff like that.
And you get addicted to it.
And that I think you can get addicted to.
Otherwise, there's other ways to avoid to be medicated this way.
That's right. Breathing, yoga.
Natural plants or something?
Natural plants. There's lots of teas out there that are
Smoke a J?
Yeah, you can smoke a joint. If you're a joint smoker, maybe that'll calm you down or make you more paranoid.
Yeah. It's probably not a good idea. If you would like Momo to choose your email to be answered on the air, please specify it in your letters and write to momo@themomozone.com.
You are listening to The Momo Show, and welcome.
Every week in the Momo Show, we will take time to talk about a wild website, and the one that Momo has found this week is yournuts.com. Let me tell you that the creator of this website has some balls, and big ones too.
Oh my God. Eric.
This is so crazy.
I gotta tell you, I was sitting here one day with my buddy Patrick Gelati from Gelati Custom Guitars, and he tells me, hey, did you ever see those truck nuts? And I said, what are you talking about? He says, people hang these big balls on the back of their pickup truck. And I said, no fucking way. And you know what happened? I went on the net, and Lord, there they were.
Actually, you want to hear the voice of the guy who I think he's the creator of these balls that hang behind these big trucks, and he'll explain to you what it is, okay?
Check this out.
Hi there. Glad you could make it. I'm David, and I want to welcome you to the home of America's favorite online novelty testicles, yournuts.com. Hey, join my friends as we share with you some of the coolest accessories for your truck, your car, your bike, your trike, or whatever. Click on the links and learn all about them.
They're all over the place in the States. A lot of friends of mine are telling me that they're, everywhere. And I've seen a couple of them here in town.
Dude, I got to tell you, that is pretty scary. I can only imagine what people's parents think when they're riding around with their kids. And their kid goes, Mommy.
What is that? What is hanging from the truck?
And what I like is what you told me about this morning when you said you found a new pair that I didn't see, which was apparently a thinner pair that flaps in the wind.
You've got these flapping testicles also that you can buy online. And I found also something with a remote control that makes, that middle finger that you can put in your window.
So if you have that and the balls, then you really got it going on.
But, who can think of these things?
I don't know, dude, but there's something else. We also have another sound clip, which is the one where I guess there's a pair that lights up, right, when you put on the brakes.
They're lighting balls, and the guy, let me just describe it to you. He looks like one of the two members of ZZ Top. Listen to the guy.
Me and David came up with an idea one night, sitting around the dining room table, and that same light came on. But it was on our nuts. I gotta tell you, there ain't nothing better than a set of nuts that light up at night. Very safety feature. Everyone behind you knows where your nuts are going. But I'll tell you what, these hang by a chain, so you get a little movement. Step on the brakes, you get everyone's attention. Running lights, turn signals, brake lights, you got it all right here.
Oh my God, if I didn't hear it with my own ears, I don't think it would be true.
Braking lights made like testicles. Tell me, why are we talking about this in this motivation show?
Well, because I want to know what the fuck is the motivation for this. This is the whole point. Like, this is a motivation show, power motivation, kicking the ass. Well,
kicking the balls.
This guy's giving people a kick in the balls.
And he's making money out of it.
You know, we tried to contact him, but haven't been able to reach him yet. But I can tell you one thing. On one of these segments of these shows, we will be busting in. We will get in touch with him. And when we do, we want to know what the motivation is behind putting together a nut company. I mean, was this guy like, one day what? He was taking a piss. He's looking down at his balls. He said, damn, these would look good on the back of my truck.
Yeah. Where that light came from, it's just incredible.
Dude, and they got all kinds. Camouflage ones, red, see-through, and it's the flapping ones that are killing me.
Of course, red, white, and blue with the stripes and stars, you know, the American balls.
Pair of big old American balls, and they come in a pair of 16 inches too, I heard.
Yes, you can put this behind a monster truck.
That's right. And these are big. Like, if you were to take these balls and put them in front of your face, you wouldn't have a face, right? Because you wouldn't see your face anymore. They're that big. You'd be ball faced.
How do you explain to the kids? You know, is there a problem there?
You know, I don't know. I mean, it's a fine line between freedom of speech, the American balls, and the whole
humor
entire thing.
And bad taste.
I can tell you that there'll probably be a lot of people out there who find it pretty funny, but some people, if you drove through the wrong town with those nuts on the back of your truck.
If you have any links to Wild website, please write us to momo@themomozone.com.
Yeah, that's right. And you guys can go check out that nut thing for your own selves. And the address is?
Yes, yournuts.com.
You are listening to The Momo Show, the kick-ass motivator, starring Momo from the Momo Zone and controversial radio personality, Eric Remi.
Well, I'm happy because I've won that contest of the subject for the closing of this show at that kick-ass motivator power bite of Momo, and I'm... especially because we're living in an economic crisis right now. Money is not everything. What could you say? Because a lot of people are having a hard time right now, losing jobs, not having money, going into bankruptcy, and more.
Well, look, money is a necessity. There's no doubt about it, and money will definitely change your mood, change your lifestyle, make you miserable, or make you happy. I have to tell you that before money comes who you are. Because if you don't focus on who you are and know exactly what it is you want to do, then getting that money is going to come in the way of that dream. So that means, A, if you're capable of living from your dream, that's great. And if you're not, then you got to know what your dream is so that you can calculate what you are working for takes you to your dream. That means you have to invest in yourself. No matter what it is. If you have no money, then you have to invest the time. The time is what creates the money.
Investing your time, investing your talent, investing in learning a trade or something.
Investment is everything. And these days, my friend, on the internet, everything is available for free. In the olden days, when you want to learn tips and tricks and shit, or you'd have to go to school and it would cost you tuition money, etc., etc. I'm going to tell you honestly, Eric, everything I learned how to do today, I learned how to do on the internet for free. There's tutorials, there's videos, how to do this. But the trick is you have to know how to type in what you're looking for. If you're a good searcher, you can find anything. And Krila became one of the top fucking photographers in North America in under 5 years. And she didn't even know how to take a picture 5 years ago.
She learned all that on the web.
On the internet.
You gotta be crazy.
I'm not shitting you, dude.
Be inventive. Be creative.
Dude, the information is all out there. Everything is copy, paste, next. These days, we're in a day of instant information. You have a problem, you type in, I have a problem. How do I fix it? Enter. Believe you me, somebody's going to pop up and give you something that's going to trigger you off, because it's all about inspiration.
And you know what? If you don't find it, just go at justaskmomo.com.
That's my biggest recommendation, is to really invest in yourself. It starts with that, because the money part, the more bread you got, the more shit you eat. That means that if you're making a lot of money, well, you're going to be pretty organized, pretty busy with either employees, responsibilities, stuff that are going down the chain. And if you're not organized, it's not going to happen. So you can't have that. So it starts with you, investing in yourself and keeping things simple. Simple. These days, you can run mega offices right out of your own home.
We call this the KISS system. Keep it simple and stupid.
Dude, you keep teaching me new words, and I'm fucking freaking, because learning is what I'm all about. I love learning new stuff.
And listen, this is it. That was the Momo Show, the first one.
Eric, it's such an honor to have done this with you, because, you know, I've listened to you and seen you on TV. You've been on TV and radio for the last 30 years.
30 years soon.
It's going to be 30 years. How much time?
On the 22nd of September.
30 years of TV and radio, my friend, and you can tell he's spunky. We haven't really practiced any of this shit, and we're just belting it out.
And it's not my mother tongue.
And it's not mother tongue. Look, Eric here is all bugged out on the fact that he thinks that he can't speak English that well.
I speak. It's just that sometimes I'm like that, that special word.
I told you, dude, people are going to think it's some kind of sexy accent that comes from Europe or something.
If I can be sexy and at the same time have fun, thanks.
Hey guys, I want to thank you so much for checking out the Momo Show, and I'm here with my buddy Eric Remi, and what can I say? You guys rock, man.
Yeah, and stay tuned for the next one.
Peace out!
If you have appreciated this free podcast of The Momo Show, don't forget to click on the subscribe button located in the iTunes menu of the show. Please take time to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, and why not add your comments. High marks will help us increase our ratings and visibility on iTunes top podcasts. And of course, will entice other podcasters like you to join in. If you need more kick in the ass, don't miss Momo's videos on YouTube at youtube.com/themomozone. If you'd like to drop us a line, feel free to write us to momo@themomozone.com.
On the behalf of Momo, this is Eric Remi inviting you for our next podcast of the Momo Show. Have yourself a kick-ass week, and thanks for your support.
Oh, yeah.